Welcome to the Big 12 on ESPN. Gorgeous day for Game 3 at Tracy Sellers Field in Lubbock, Texas for Nyjah Kennedy's Senior Day. And a pivotal Game 3 between number 4 Texas Tech and Baylor with postseason implications on the line. In Game 1, it was dominated by Caitlin Terry, her 5th complete game of the season. And in Game 2, Baylor erased a 5-run deficit, their biggest comeback since the 2014 Women's College World Series, to force this Game 3 today. Hi again, everybody. Matt Schumacher alongside Amanda Scarborough. Frankly, across the country this weekend, crazy regular season finales across the board, all conferences. We've got one here today, a pivotal Game 3 with postseason implications for both teams. Postseason implications are everywhere right now in every single conference, especially in the month of May. I mean, we are here in the middle of mayhem. For Baylor, they're trying to get into the NCAA tournament. Head into this weekend, they were a bubble team. They needed a win. They needed that win last night. A win here today would solidify them into the NCAA tournament if they were able to win this series against Texas Tech. And Texas Tech is trying to solidify a top 8 seed. Right now, they are a bubble, maybe on the outside looking in. Maybe they're there, but a win, it would be critical for them today. With all that being said, and with today being Senior Day, the Texas Tech head coach, Jerry Glasgow, has no choice but to put Nyjah Kennedy in the circle. He told us this is going to be the deal on Thursday when we talked to him. Nyjah Kennedy is going to get the ball on Saturday for Senior Day right here in Lubbock in front of her home crowd, because she has built this stadium, built this fan base, and taken Texas Tech to places that it had never been before. She transferred from Stanford last year, made it to the Women's College World Series with Texas Tech for the first time. We're talking about a 3-time All-American pitcher, a National Pitcher of the Year, National Player of the Year, and one of the most popular faces in our sport, Nyjah Kennedy, for what she's been able to do in her 4-year career. It's been unbelievable. She is amazing. She is the only active pitcher in the country with at least 90 career wins and over 1,000 strikeouts. Makes her second appearance, Amanda, of the weekend. Gave up 3 unearned runs yesterday in relief. Today is her first start. Yeah, Texas Tech had the lead late in the game. Nyjah Kennedy came in relief. She did not start Game 1. That was Caitlin Terry, as you mentioned. She pitched to Jim. Kennedy came in relief, and they lost the lead, and Texas Tech lost that game. But the game plan all along for Jerry Glasgow, the head coach of Texas Tech, was to bring her in relief in Game 2 and give her the start here in Game 3. Despite no earned runs against Kennedy, this Baylor starting lineup did produce 6 hits against the Texas Tech star, led by Kagan Marshall, who homered in yesterday's victory for Baylor. It was the first road win against the top 5 program since they swept a number 5 Texas team in 2023, playing loose, Amanda, and with a lot of momentum coming into Game 3. Baylor looked like a team with a lot of fight in yesterday's game that you saw from them, knowing that their season is on the line in terms of wanting to make it a sure thing that they're in the NCAA tournament. Another win here would be absolutely huge for Baylor in their resume. They went from 41st in the RPI to 37th overnight with that come from behind 8-7 victory in Game 2 last night. Brooklyn Carter leads it off for the Baylor Bears, has been sensational in the leadoff spot this year for Glenn Moore. And looks at strike 1. The second-year Washington transfer starting center fielder has reached a career-high 18 consecutive games. She is not scared to get right on top of the plate against Nyjah Kennedy. Carter hit a home run yesterday, which is a little bit uncommon for her in her career, and then quickly Kennedy ahead. Both coaches indicated to us that the beginning of this game, particularly the first inning, would be very telling for how the rest of the day would go. And a big first strikeout for Nyjah Kennedy, 1 down.
Got her with the changeup, and when you have seen Nyjah Kennedy pitch in the past, it's been all about her rise ball, but she has a screwball too. She likes to throw it away from left-handed hitters, goes up with her rise ball on multiple different levels, and then the changeup that she just struck Carter out on is the difference maker. Can drop it down to 53. The highest speeds that she'll throw is 74. She can blend her rise and her changeup so well. That strikeout to Carter was on the change, moving a little bit away.
And delivers a first pitch strike to Samaya Jones. Jerry Glasgow, Nyjah Kennedy's head coach, felt like it would be so important for her to start fast in today's game, particularly with how yesterday went. Saddled with just her 4th loss of the year in the come-from-behind win for Baylor. How about back-to-back strikeouts? That one on 3 pitches.
Going right at these Baylor hitters. I mean, you're looking at an experienced pitcher in Nyjah Kennedy. No moment has ever been too big for her. Goes with her curveball to get her 2nd strikeout of the day. It's going to be a packed house, a sellout for senior day, not just for Nyjah Kennedy, but for the rest of the senior class. The last regular season game before the postseason hits.
Two down, and the base is clear for Amber Tovin, the senior from Northridge, California, one of the great middle infielders in the history of this very rich Baylor Bears softball program, which has been to 4 Women's College World Series. That's where Nyjah Kennedy took Texas Tech for the first time ever a year ago.
Look at how these left-handed hitters are toes on the chalk line in the box, trying to take away that outside corner from her and challenge Nyjah Kennedy to throw them inside and sneak a curveball in. Not scared, though, to go right back to the outside corner.
Tight. Home plate umpire John Baca, Mike Hernandez at first, Perry Owens at 3rd. Full count to Tovin with 2 down. Despite Kennedy only going 3 innings last night, she did throw 70 pitches. So Baylor did see quite a bit of the Texas Tech star. And a good at-bat developing here for Amber Tovin, just fighting off those 3-2 pitches.
Yeah, those looks were important for Baylor last night. Sam Lincoln got the start for Texas Tech yesterday, the lefty, a 3-person staff that Jerry Glasgow relies on here at Texas Tech. Caitlin Terry was a huge addition in the transfer portal, and Sam Lincoln came to Tech as a freshman. But to get 70 pitches off of Nyjah Kennedy and really put pressure on her and put pressure on the Texas Tech defense that let them down a little bit at times in yesterday's game. Several runs that Kennedy gave up, all of them were unearned against her in yesterday's outing.
9-pitch at bat, and Kennedy strikes out the side to begin her senior day in Lubbock, Texas.
This is what the fans want to see here in Lubbock. They want to see Nyjah Kennedy get the start, ball in her hand. And you know what else they want to see? Strikeouts. The All-American striking out the side on senior day. 3 up, 3 down for Kennedy in the circle.
It's a special day in Lubbock, Texas. For the first time in a non-football game on campus, the Masked Rider came out and got a game kicked off here at Texas Tech. Only fitting in Nyjah Kennedy's senior day, with number 4 Texas Tech playing for a potential opportunity to host a super regional. And they have been led by a bevy of impact transfers. Mia Williams, one of the great hitters in the Big 12 this year. And in back-to-back years, Tech with the number 1 transfer class under Jerry Glasgow. First pitch misses upstairs from Peyton Tanner.
I see Tanner in all 3 games here in the series. She started game 1, came in relief late in game 2, and they got the win. And getting to start here in game 3.
.354 ERA for Tanner in April, and double the innings pitched of any other month this year. It's a Baylor team that doesn't quite have the same depth as Texas Tech, but Peyton Tanner's somebody that, as the season has worn on, they've been able to count on in the circle.
She's been competing big time for this Baylor team, and you can't stress enough like how much pressure it was put on Baylor coming into this weekend, knowing that they probably needed to win a game, being on the bubble for the NCAA tournament by D1 softball and Softball America, just right there on the edge. But a win against a team like Texas Tech, huge for their resume, and Peyton Tanner has been a big part of it.
Davis to second base, and it goes off the glove of Faith Piper into center field.
And Peyton Tanner is going to throw in the mid-60s, be more of an east and west type pitcher, meaning she'll go to her curveball and her screwball. Those are going to be her 2 go-to pitches that she leans on the most. She will change speeds. She'll have a change-up and an off-speed pitch, and she will show her rise ball up in the zone.
First pitch swinging off the bat of Mia Williams. And back-to-back base knocks to start the game for Texas Tech.
Actually gave an error on that first one off the bat to Davis, which is a tough error with how hard that ball was struck. But Texas Tech using the ground a couple of times to get the first 2 in their order on base for the middle of the order with some pop.
2 on, nobody out. Jackie Liss looks at ball 1. Liss, one of 9 transfers coming in the offseason from Southern Illinois, where she was a conference MVP in the Missouri Valley in her time at SIU. Played travel ball with Nyjah Kennedy growing up. Thought, how cool would it be to spend my senior year with the pitcher who I played behind all through travel ball.
And I feel like she's one of the more underrated players in the Big 12, one of the more underrated players in the nation for just her consistency. I mean, she was so good at SIU, had about a .350 batting average in her time there. She has some home run pop. She's been just so clutch, good eye at the plate. I mean, what a steady force for Texas Tech with Jackie Liss and all the experience that she brings to be right there in the 3-hole for them.
It is an embarrassment of riches, really, for Jerry Glasgow this year, 2nd year manning this organization. And their offense has exploded. Top 5 in the nation in a host of categories, and Liss earns a free pass to load the bases with nobody out in the first.
Well, this is a scary position for Baylor to be in with how hot at the plate Jazzy Burns has been. Has a home run in the first 2 games of this series and has just been a menace at the plate, coming through time and time again. Big time bat, 15 home runs, 47 RBIs for Burns.
Texas Tech drew 6 walks against Peyton Tanner in game 1. She came back in game 2, pitched a hitless inning, striking out 2. This time, Burns sends a deep shot to left. Forget about it. Grand slam in the bottom of the first. No-doubter for Jazzy Burns in her 8th home run in the last 11 games.
Just unbelievable power that Burns has been showing. A towering home run, too. Off the bat, she knew it. These fans knew it. We knew it. A grand slam for Burns, my goodness.
And it all started with an error at second base on a hard hit ball by Maya Davis. Glenn Moore told us pregame, Amanda, that Peyton Tanner's game is not striking you out. It's relying on what has been a really good defense for most of the year for Baylor. A rare mistake in the middle infield. Gets a first inning rally started, and that is a beautiful defensive play in center by Brooklyn Carter. 1 down.
When you look at Texas Tech's offensive numbers that they put together this year, they're clearly one of the best offenses in the country and can beat you in a lot of different ways, with home runs, with speed, with hitting for average. I mean, this offense for Texas Tech has everything.
3rd in the nation in scoring, behind only UCLA and Oklahoma. They are on pace to break numerous program records, have already broken a couple this year.
When you think about Texas Tech's run to the Women's College World Series last year, so much was put on Nyjah Kennedy and her ability to just shut down offenses, play some low-scoring games. Their offense was not nearly as talented as what they have this year.
Panel down the left field line, chasing Jones, and makes the catch in foul territory, 2 away.
It was definitely a goal for Jerry Glasgow and Texas Tech to work the transfer portal and get some big bats in the offseason. And boy, did they ever, just knowing that in the month of May, they wanted to compete in the postseason. They wanted to start their run in the postseason with the hopes, with Jerry Glasgow as their head coach, 2nd year. I mean, it is national championship or bust for Texas Tech this year. That is what is on their mind. That's what they want.
They returned all but 3 starters from last year's team that came within a game of beating Texas for a national championship. And yet they went out and again brought in the #1 transfer class in the country for the 2nd consecutive year.
Yeah, Caitlin Terry has totally changed her batting stance since she transferred over from UCLA. I mean, she starts just completely open with her right foot.
And shoots it through the left side to extend the 1st inning.
And her numbers offensively have been something that stood out to the entire nation. I mean, when you talk about Caitlin Terry, you oftentimes thought of her as a pitcher with Taylor Tinsley at UCLA and just doing a great job in the circle from the left-hand side. But the way that she's been offensively able to transform her game with her batting average up 250 points, more power, higher slugging percentage, you're looking at potentially with Caitlin Terry, because of what she does in the circle and at the plate, as this year's Big 12 Player of the Year. Not just Pitcher of the Year, right, but the Big 12 Player of the Year because of the fact that she's a two-way player.
And as you mentioned, Amanda, it's players like her that have been added to this team that have taken a lot of the weight off Nyjah Kennedy and have frankly made this a much deeper program here in year 2. Terry at first as Haley Toney digs in. 8th hitter to come to the plate in this inning for Texas Tech. And Tony, just a sophomore, but one of the captains and linchpins of the program, in the words of Jerry Glasgow.
Played shortstop and started as a freshman last year in that national championship run.
Sends this into the gap in left center field. It is gone. No, they're going to say it's in the field of play. Runner coming home is tagged out on the relay. That may get reviewed. It looked to me on initial look like it was over the white in left field. Jerry Glasgow is out, talking with home plate umpire John Baca, and we are going to have a review, it appears. We will clean it up when we return. As of now, the call on the field is runner out at home on this unbelievable relay started by Brooklyn Carter, and the tag by Abby Flores. Will it stand? Welcome back to Lubbock, Texas. Couple of things being sorted out here during a review process. Jerry Glasgow wanting a little bit more information from one of our umpires, Mike Hernandez. Here's another look at that ball that hit the white but did not leave the stadium, came back into the field of play. Live ball. Heady defense by Baylor. Amanda running a relay, gunning down a runner at home plate, which could also be part of the review process because of where Abby Flores, the Baylor catcher, lined up at home. A lot going on here in this review here in Lubbock.
Yeah, it looks a little obstruction-y to me as Flores takes that throw home, and you could see that Caitlin Terry had to change her path to get around her, and Flores was set up before she even had the ball, blocking the entire plate. That's the key part. So before she had the ball, she was blocking the plate, and looked like Caitlin Terry had to change her path to try to get home. And also, did the tag actually touch her at home? I mean, there's like 3 different things that you could look at in this one play. And it makes it very close with Terry being so athletic moving around that. Look at all the pressure, too, on her left shoulder when she went in sliding. She basically lands full body weight on her left shoulder. Remember, she's a left-handed pitcher who's trying to score from first base on that ball to the wall.
Might be worth revisiting, but it also looked like Flores might be blocking the leading edge of the plate.
Exactly.
And thus impeding the runner's ability to have a clear look at home plate.
Yeah, you said it in the fancy, perfect words. I kind of think I made up my own words.
I like obstruction-y better.
With obstruction-y and runner's path, but You see where Caitlin Terry, like Flores is completely blocking the plate here before she has possession of the ball, which is forcing Terry out and around her in a very big way. This one's going to take a while too, I feel like. Yeah, so the best spot that you can be in is that left foot being on the inside fair territory. So on the other side of home plate, the throw did kind of take her in to that area.
So much happening in that play. Initially, when the review first came to light, it appeared that Jerry Glasgow was challenging the call on the field of whether or not that was a home run, based on his conversations with John Baca and what the rest of his dugout was motioning. But it appears we have finally come to a conclusion here.
Just hope the mic works today and we can get a good little explanation of what we got here.
After review, the ruling on the field is stands. The runner was out at home. That's Texas Tech's first down.
Well, I don't know about a lengthy explanation there, but at least it's a clear explanation. The call on the field stands. Jerry Glasgow still pleading his case. That ends the first inning. A 4 spot for Tech. They lead early in Lubbock. Welcome back to Lubbock, Texas. Nyjah Kennedy will come back to the circle to start the second inning after a wacky end to the bottom of the first. Looked initially like Texas Tech might have had a home run. Ball comes back into play, relay to home. That play gets reviewed, and we're assuming that the challenge by Jerry Glasgow was the call at home and not whether or not the ball left the yard, based on the way that the review was relayed back to us from the umpiring crew.
Yeah, because you have to specify, do you want to challenge if this is a home run or not, or do you want to challenge the call at the plate? This would be a separate challenge if Jerry Glasgow wanted to challenge if it was a home run or not, because what was reported back was all about this play at the plate and that it would not get overturned. Now, tough call for me of whether there was actually a tag there and also if that should be called obstruction. That looked like obstruction to me.
Jerry Glasgow continued to plead his case as we went to commercial break before resuming play here to start the top of the second inning. Regardless, Nyjah Kennedy pitching with a 4-run lead here. Began the game by striking out the side and now takes on the middle of this Baylor lineup, beginning with Leah Cran.
The amount of swings and misses that Nyjah Kennedy has been able to get in her career since she was a freshman at Stanford. Remember, she played there 2 years at Stanford, freshman and sophomore years, and then transferred to Texas Tech. But in her college career, I mean, she has been one of the best swing and miss pitchers that we've seen, leading to all those strikeouts. A big reason for that is because of her rise ball that you just saw go very high there, a little bit wild on that pitch, but the development over the course of her career with her changeup has been a big reason for those 1,000+ strikeouts in her career. In her freshman year, she threw her changeup just 3% of the time. Her sophomore year, that increase, that was a pitch that she worked on with the Stanford pitching coach at the time, and really wanted to develop that pitch to be able to use. And the scouting report was out on her rise balls. They knew that they had to have that changeup.
First contact of the day for Baylor. Easy roller to Mila Williams. First out of the second inning.
Well, and every year, that percentage that she has thrown her changeup has gone up and up. She's just gotten more and more comfortable with it, and people know exactly what Nyjah Kennedy wants to do, is use that rise ball, go up in the zone, and throw it 70 at your eyes. It's so tough to lay back, or hold back, I should say.
And that's part of the evolution of her greatness, right? Understanding, Amanda, the historic year across the country that we're seeing from all these offenses, and yet she continues to adjust to that. Another 20-win season. One count here to Faith Piper. And Kennedy ahead in the count again. A pitcher who is yet again top 10 in the country in strikeouts per 7 innings, nearly 10 for the senior this year.
My goodness, she's just had so much pressure on her too in her career. I remember taking Stanford to the World Series for the first time in a couple of decades, and doing that as a freshman. She pitched alongside Elena Vaughter, who was a drop ball pitcher. They were such a great pair because Nyjah Kennedy would go up with her rise ball and get all these strikeouts, and Vaughter would complement her with her drop ball at Stanford.
Speaking of strikeouts, 4th of the day for Kennedy.
Getting another swing and miss. Look at the pitch location. These lefties wanting to be on the plate. She sneaks in this curve ball at a perfect height. Seemed like, too, she took a little bit off of that, but perfect height right at the knees for the 4th strikeout of the day.
Two down, bases clear for Casey West. Making just her 6th start of the season at the DP.
And Jerry Glasgow was talking about Nyjah Kennedy too, and just the impact that she's had on her game. And the first thing he went to is just the longevity of being able to be so good her freshman year and have everybody trying to be the one that gets a hit off of you. Look and just pour over the video and the scouting reports and the numbers and try to figure out how to hit you. That has been how it's been for her every single year that she has pitched in college, and yet she still is able to go out and dominate games.
Won National Pitcher of the Year last year for the 2nd straight year. And really, since the end of her freshman year, Amanda has gotten everybody's best shot. When you're an opponent going up against Nyjah Kennedy, the focus on the game plan is unlike anything that we've seen. But she continues to dazzle. Buzzing through Baylor here through the first 2 innings. 6 straight retired for Kennedy.
Texas Tech, Big 12 tournament champions for the first time.
Texas Tech are on to the World Series for the first time. First pitch swinging into right. Davis to the plate. Texas Tech has done it.
Record-setting season for Texas Tech, and a season of firsts will carry them into next year.
One of the remarkable turnarounds in the history of our sport. First year of Jerry Glasgow as the head coach, Texas Tech broke 22 program records on a first pitch swing by Valdez. One gone in the second. Went undefeated in regional play. Undefeated in super regional play. In the Women's College World Series, ended Oklahoma's bid for a 5th straight title, en route to being 1 win away, Amanda, from the program's first ever national championship.
I mean, Texas Tech had never seen any of this before Jerry Glasgow came to be the head coach. He knew that there was potential to get Nyjah Kennedy in the transfer portal, and he wanted to be able to build a roster around Nyjah Kennedy last year and be able to look her in the eye trying to get her here and say, we could make it to the World Series. He knew that it couldn't just be on Nyjah Kennedy. She would be a big part of it, but he went to work in the transfer portal in his first season and did it again this year.
Told Nyjah Kennedy that if you take a chance on us in year 1, this was going into 2025, I promise we will put a roster around you your second year to win a national championship. And Amanda, it goes back to your point. There's a feeling here in Lubbock now that it's almost national title or bust, which is crazy to think about given that it's year 2 of this new era of winning softball here at Texas Tech.
I mean, you talk about going from 0 to 60 real fast. I mean, Texas Tech, they're the color red, right? Like, they're driving a Ferrari in just the left lane on the freeway in terms of how quickly they've been able to just turn things around.
Oh, upstairs to Maya Davis. Second time aboard today for the starting center fielder. Well, tomorrow we have another Sunday NWSL matchup. Chicago Stars taking on league-leading Portland Thorns and Sophia Wilson. Sunday, 1 Eastern on ESPN2. So Davis at first with 1 down. A 4-0 lead for Texas Tech in the rubber match of this final regular season series with Baylor. Mia Williams, one of those superstar transfers that Jerry Glasgow and company brought in to build around Nyjah Kennedy this year.
I mean, it was even surprising when Jerry Glasgow took the job to come here to Texas Tech, right? Like, that was the first domino, was him coming from Louisiana, where he was the head coach for several years, to then come and be the head coach here at Texas Tech.
Williams to third, flip to second in time. They will not get Williams, who avoids the double play.
But to make it to a super regional, Matt, is hard, especially for a team, a program that has never done it before. To make it to the World Series, for some of these teams that we watch, we start taking it for granted that it's like easy to make it to the World Series. It is not easy at all. Every year, even if you're wearing Oklahoma across your chest, to make it to the World Series is a difficult trek to get there. So for Jerry Glasgow to do it in his first year and turn this program around and not only get there, but to compete for a national championship, I don't think they were expecting that last year, right? Like, okay, yeah, cool, let's make it to the World Series, but to have a chance to win a national championship against Texas in the Champ Series, that just doesn't happen.
They were a game away from winning the national title. Forced game 3 against a very good Texas Longhorns team. And to your point about the surprise in the sport, Amanda, when Jerry announced that he was going to take this job prior to his arrival, Texas Tech softball had won 49% of its games. In year 1 under Jerry Glasgow, Nyjah Kennedy, and the other stars that they brought in, they had a record-setting 54-win season, hosted a regional for the first time ever. and created a swell of support, not only in Lubbock, but nationally, signing autographs at opposing ballparks around the country all throughout last year. That has carried over into 2026.
And it did make a lot of waves in the offseason with the transfer portal pickups that Jerry Glasgow got. And he said, we finished with the Women's College World Series, and the very next day, all throughout the summer, I was out recruiting. He didn't even really feel like he had a chance to take in the entire last season until I think it was August. He had told us back before the Clearwater tournament, and just really soak it all in. What a historic year it was for this program.
Runner goes. It's Williams sliding in behind the tag.
And it's not, again, just the power that Texas Tech has. I mean, Mia Williams is an incredible power hitter. She's hit 20 home runs, but this is a Texas Tech team that has over 100 stolen bases. So as a defense and as a pitching staff, you're not only having to deal with power, but you have to deal with speed too.
Lead the Big 12 in stolen bags as Jackie Liss grounds out to third. That'll do it for Tech in the second inning. Baylor comes to the plate down 4 when we return. Nyjah Kennedy stormed onto the scene in 2023, winning National Freshman of the Year, leading Stanford to a Women's College World Series appearance for the first time in nearly 20 years. Came back the next year, won Collegiate Player of the Year, National Pitcher of the Year. Did it again in 2025, leading a new program, Texas Tech, to their first Women's College World Series ever. And she has 1,000 career strikeouts and over 90 wins, the only active player in the country right now with both. And she has been spectacular to begin her senior day here in Lubbock. 6 straight retired, Amanda, with 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, to have a sub-1 career ERA like Nyjah Kennedy has in this day and age of offenses and how good they are just tells you a lot about how dominant she's been. I mean, that's what you showed up to the ballpark to watch, and you even saw it at her first Women's College World Series. The way that she is able to take over a game in the circle. It reminds you so much of former All-American pitchers like a Kat Osterman and Monica Abbott, these dominant pitchers that we just don't see as much in our sport anymore because of the offensive explosion.
She has really transcended the sport in many ways, bringing people to the sport that had never watched softball before. Misses low to Marshall.
I was lucky enough to call her first Women's College World Series game. She was a freshman at Stanford, and who did she face? Oh, just Oklahoma, who was in the middle of that incredible run. And I mean, there's pressure pitching at the Women's College World Series as a freshman against that team, and she just was getting swings and misses on her rise ball that we just had not really seen before, or that year, I should say, the Oklahoma hitters like that. I mean, this is why you love to watch her pitch, for the swing and miss, right? It's like if you're an offensive lover, you love to watch the home run. If you are a pitching and defense lover, you love to watch the strikeout, a rise ball up and in on the hands. And that is all about her ability to throw that rise ball at multiple different levels. Fantastic location to get the K.
Last year pitched 36 consecutive innings in the Women's College World Series. Over 500 pitches. Finally relieved in the middle of Game 3 of the Champ Series against Texas. But you mentioned what she did as a freshman. It continues to build with her, Amanda. When you don't think there's anything else she can do that you haven't seen before, she shocks you.
Just her, her ability to bear down in the big moments too. When we talked to Jerry Glasgow before the game, he's like, I don't ever recall a 7th inning where Nyjah Kennedy gave up a 1-run lead, or late in the game lead, like they did yesterday against Baylor. And you're getting it, like you mentioned, you're getting everybody's best shot. They've seen you pitch thousands of times. They've watched you on film. They know exactly what you want to do is go to the rise ball, and yet she still continues to dominate games. It's incredibly impressive.
6 strikeouts, 2 gone in the 3rd.
And the knock on her a little bit at times is her not wanting to go inside to lefties with her curveball, but she has done it a couple of times here today. Those Baylor left-handed hitters are toes on the chalk, trying to get on top of the plate and give her a little bit of space to work that inner half, but she is just finding a groove there with her curveball against these lefties.
You mentioned how rare it is to see her pitch with the lead and then give it up, as we saw last night. Pitched 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 3 unearned runs. Jerry Glasgow told us today that nobody expects that kind of thing to happen because we all sort of look at her like Superman, which is unfair to her in a lot of ways, but it's also what she's created with how dominant she's been in the circle from the minute she stepped on the scene 4 years ago. And she strikes out the side again. 2nd time today. She has 7 on her senior day in Lubbock.
Nine up, 9 down. Little low rise against Marshall. Then check out this curveball on the inside corner. And then she goes to the changeup. 3 strikeouts on 3 different pitches for the senior candidate.
year, this Texas Tech offense was good, not great. Relied heavily on Nyjah Kennedy both in the circle and at the plate. Off-season comes around, Jerry Glasgow and company make a number of acquisitions in the transfer portal, and now they have one of the most explosive offenses in the nation, top 5 in a host of categories. They've already broken program records in multiple categories and still chasing a few more.
And all those stolen bases, too, to go alongside those 117 home runs that they've hit, scoring almost 10 runs a game behind. I mean, when you have Caitlin Terry and Nyjah Kennedy, and you added Sam Lincoln there as well, if you're scoring 10 runs a game with that pitching staff, it's difficult to lose games. They've lost a handful. They've gotten shut out actually a few times, so a few inconsistent times with their offense just not showing up in some games. But I don't know, Matt, when I just feel like when this offense that's so talented just needs to turn it on, they're going to flip a switch and turn it on.
And they're so deep this year, Amanda. Last year they had 3 players who finished the season batting above .330. This year, every Red Raider who's taken at least 65 at-bats is batting over .330. They can hurt you in a myriad of ways from 1 to 9 in the lineup.
Well, it's crazy to think that Nyjah Kennedy led their team in home runs last year. She hit 11. As Burns walks there, I mean, that was a big reason that she wanted to come to Texas Tech, was because Jerry Glasgow told her, all right, you come here, you're going to hit a little bit more, but now they're so deep offensively that she doesn't necessarily need to hit as much as what she hit last year, but she was the pop in their lineup at times.
Pretty remarkable, the turnaround offensively that we've seen for this team in 2 short years, and then in comparison between last year's team, which was, of course, 1 win away from winning a national championship. Logan Halliman comes in a pinch run for Jazzy Burns as Lauren Allred digs in. Halliman taking off. One-hopped throw from Flores, tag not in time. Second stolen base of the game for Tech. First team in the history of Division I softball with at least 110 homers and stolen bases in the same season. They lead the Big 12 in both categories.
Well, and if you know Jerry Glasgow, he is an offensive-minded coach. And, of course, he loves to have a good pitcher on his team, but he loves talking hitting. He loves getting his hitters prepared, working with them, trying to get the most out of them offensively. He's always been like that. He was the hitting coach at Georgia for a long time, then the hitting coach at Texas A&M, and then eventually became a head coach there at Louisiana. But hitting is his jam.
Known for his use of pitching machines to get his hitters ready. This is sent deep in the air to right field off the bat of Lauren Allred. Goodbye. Second home run of the day for Tech, and a 6-0 Red Raider lead.
Lauren Allred was a big part of this team last year, and Jerry Glasgow had said she has the most mechanically sound swing. That pitch is up and in her hands, and it's like it ain't no thing for her to get her barrel there. Another towering home run sent out of here. These fans here on Senior Day, this sold-out crowd getting a little bit of everything. Some Nyjah Kennedy strikeout, striking out the side. They're getting some home runs. Second home run of the day for Texas Tech.
Her 8th home run of the season has this capacity crowd on its feet again, and has Baylor making a pitching change. Sadie Ross will come in to relieve when we return. ESPN is your home for the Women's College World Series. Coverage begins May 28th on ABC, ESPN, and ESPN2. Baylor has been to the World Series 4 times, really pacing the private schools in this sport. And on the other side, Texas Tech, of course, making it for the first time in program history a year ago. And now for the 3rd time in this series, we will see Sadie Ross in the circle for the Bears. Pitching with a 6-run deficit as Taylor Pannell comes to the plate for Tech.
You were mentioning, Matt, about the Jerry Glasgow pitching machines that we're so used to hearing about. We heard about them a lot last year. I mean, Jerry Glasgow does not necessarily like using tees to coach hitting. He likes using pitching machines.
Pannell into left. First time aboard today for the Tennessee transfer.
And we got word, because before the game when we went to talk to Jerry and his office, all the pitching machines are outside the building that his office is in. And there were a lot. And so we asked the SID, Jay, about the pitching machines, how many they have. They have 15. And how much does he love them? Well, he just throws them in the back of his truck and will drive literally thousands of miles to be able to get the pitching machines to their road games.
Travels them all over the country.
Everywhere.
Had them set up in Clearwater at the beginning of the year.
And, you know, early on, you know, at Louisiana and then early last year, he was the one driving them. And then it was like, all right, well, Texas Tech got really good, started to, you know, make it to the World Series, made this run. And then finally, I think Texas Tech said, all right, we'll pay to have them shipped for you, Coach Jerry. You don't need to be the one that puts in the miles in the car.
Flared into center off the bat of Caitlin Terry, 1 down. That's sort of interesting, Amanda. He likes the machines because they can, based on how he sets them up and the spin and the speed, he can affect the mechanics of the hitter without ever really deliberately discussing mechanics with the hitter, which he said is like telling a pitcher that they have a perfect game going in the middle of the game. You don't want to mess with the mind too much.
I'm telling you, he is all in on hitting, and you're exactly right. He'll manipulate the machines and the way that they pitch to work on a specific hitting mechanic for the hitter without being like, all right, Haley, Tony, this is exactly the mechanic that we're going to work on today and work on your hands or your bottom half or whatever. No, he just changes the machines a little bit, and that's how they're going to work on it, kind of indiscreetly.
Tony into center. Back-to-back catches for Brooklyn Carter, 2 away. It's sort of an interesting approach, is it not? Never really deliberately discussing specific mechanics, but just setting up the machines to make you change your mechanics so you can hit the ball that you couldn't previously hit based on the way the machine was set.
Yeah, it's very different. I think last year it took the Texas Tech hitters a little bit of time to adjust to the way that he taught, although several players came with him from Louisiana to Texas Tech. They got in the transfer portal and ended up here with him. But definitely a different way of doing things. And then the other thing that he has is like a library of gifts, of hundreds, if not thousands of hitting gifts of baseball players, softball players, Olympians, pros. And he pulls them up all the time to compare his hitters to them. He loves hitting, if you cannot tell. Loves it. Like, loves it. Yes.
His offense today has 6 runs on 6 hits. All of the damage coming on a pair of multi-run homers. A grand slam in the first off the bat of Jazzy Burns, and a 2-run bomb here in the 3rd from Lauren Allred. Valdez to short. Tovin whips it across the diamond to end the third. A 6-run lead for the Red Raiders. Lauren Allred, Amanda, with her 8th home run of the year.
Yeah, Lauren Allred making it 2 home runs for Texas Tech. Some big swings, a grand slam by Burns, and then Allred getting it out of here over right field.
Welcome back to the Big 12 on ESPN. Senior Day in Lubbock, Texas. Top 5 Texas Tech Red Raiders team led by Jerry Glasgow. Coach, always appreciate your time. You told us today after your team gave up a 5-run lead last night, you wanted to see how your team would respond. What have they shown you through 3 innings today?
Oh, they made statements, you know, like the statement day, make a statement. I thought Naja coming out, striking outside in the first. I think she struck outside, made a huge statement, and Maya getting on and 4 runs with 4 batters. I thought it was a great statement, and makes it fun.
Jerry, what have you witnessed with Texas Tech and Lubbock since Naja Kennedy entered into this Texas Tech program?
It's just unbelievable. You know, I think back our first game here, we literally had like 150 people, and Naja Kennedy's on the mound. I can remember saying to myself, like, hey, we got Bo Jackson and Herschel Walker. It's like the equivalent of that in softball pitching for us, and we got 150 people here. And so we got to be patient. That's what everybody told me, be patient, and then win. And so it's really fun for me. That's the best part. Our fans, the community, it just went crazy over softball, and every game's been sold out this year, and just a packed house, so it's amazing.
What is the inflatable body being bobbed up and down behind you right now?
I heard that there's a rumor going around that's Naja Kennedy's boyfriend. So I don't know. I'm not asking any questions.
All right,
she's going to kill me for that, but that's what she told me.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Thank you.
I mean, Naja is looking at her boyfriend over there behind
Yeah, she's
Jerry,
wondering when he's going to get off the field so she can get back to work here.
Like, hey, can I have some space here? I'm working.
Jerry is right, by the way. She did strike out the side, not only in the first inning, Amanda, but in the last inning that we saw her on the field. 7 Ks today for Naja Kennedy. Gets a first pitch swing off the bat of Brooklyn Carter, drifting into left center, caught by Maya Davis, 1 down. They do seem to have quite a bit of fun here in Lubbock, Texas. Jerry might be the ringleader of all of that fun, and Naja flashing a smile at her head coach. Bunt dropped down by Samaya Jones. Kennedy fields. Good job by Mia Williams covering from second base to keep her foot on the bag. 2 away. Well, Thursday, we have an MLB doubleheader featuring the Rays and the Red Sox. Rays second in the AL East behind the Yanks. And then the Cardinals and the Padres. Both games available on ESPN and the app. Baylor without a base runner today. And after they did so much damage against Nyjah last night. Yes, the 3 runs she gave up were all unearned, but the Bears managed 6 hits. What a response today by Nyjah Kennedy on her senior day.
Well, absolutely great response. She's coming out just everything working seemingly and just attacking these hitters. And the one thing you mentioned about Baylor in yesterday's game is just being able to score off of her by putting the ball in play. And Maya Davis in center field even robbed a home run off the bat of Baylor. There would have been a home run off of Nyjah had Maya Davis, as one of the best center fielders in the country, not gone up and gotten it. And so being able to make adjustments against a team that was getting good contact off of you, putting the ball in play, mixing things up with their speed, the way that Baylor is so known to do over the course of the history of their program.
Race to the bag won by Jackie Liss. 12 up, 12 down for Nyjah Kennedy. Her Red Raiders rolling 6-zip in Lubbock. Welcome back to Lubbock, Texas. Texas Tech on top of Baylor 6-0 right now. We're joined by the Baylor head coach, Glenn Moore. Coach, yesterday your team comes from behind, down 5. First top 5 road win in a couple of years. What did that win show you about your young team last night?
Well, what we've seen all year, they never quit. Things haven't worked our way often. A lot of that has to do with youth, and a lot of that has to do with just poor performances at times. But the effort's been there, and the heart's certainly there, and they just didn't quit, and we gave ourselves a chance.
And with that young team, Coach, and you guys being a bubble team to get into the tournament and that at stake, like, how do they handle that pressure? Do they even feel it in this moment?
You know, I don't think they feel it. We've talked about it. I asked them earlier in the year if they wanted to know the ins and outs of that, and they wanted to know it. So we've talked about it often. Our backs are against the wall, has been, and put ourselves in a better position last night, of course. But I've never seen this team play like they were carrying a mountain of stress with them. They just enjoy the game, and they play with as if it's 0-0 every time they're out there. And we're not always playing great under those conditions, and sometimes I'm stressing out because they don't stress a little bit more. But you know, they're a fun bunch, and they play the game hard. They love to be, love to be in practice. They love to be in the game.
Coach, appreciate your time. Thank you. Glenn Moore has been doing it for 26 years. His team came into the weekend 41st in the RPI. That win last night, Amanda, was massive. They jumped 4 spots to 37. You see the strength of schedule there. Those are 2 major metrics that are used by the selection committee when it comes time to determine those at-large bids.
Yeah, and that is of significance for the NCAA tournament, but they're also trying to play in the Big 12 tournament as well, as only 8 Big 12 teams make it to the tournament in Oklahoma City. And why you'd want to play in that, it's just another opportunity to bolster your resume a little bit more. If you play in that tournament, you have the opportunity here and in the Big 12 tournament to add another big win to your resume, as the Big 12 is so strong with the teams that will make it there.
Sadie Ross back in the circle for Baylor. One of a number of underclassmen playing significant roles on this team, which really all year has only had 2 seniors in the starting lineup. Up the middle and into center off the bat of Maya Davis, her first base hit of game 3.
Well, and Baylor, you know, I played against Baylor in the Big 12, and Coach Moore had some very well-coached teams. And when I think of Baylor and the way that Coach Moore coaches and recruits, I think of a team that has a lot of speed. They're fundamentally sound. They don't beat themselves very often. Like offensively, they've always had this speed and short game and these tools that you knew that Baylor was going to bring to the table.
A program with rich history. Of course, as we mentioned, 4 trips to the Women's College World Series. That's 3rd most all-time by a private program. And they've been 3 times since 2008. Only other private school to make it since 08, of course, was Northwestern a handful of seasons ago. Chance at a double play here. That is not turned in time. Mia Williams with that deceptive speed and power, reaching first to avoid the double play.
One of my least favorite memories of Baylor was in 2007. We played them in Waco. I was pitching, and I think a Big 12 championship was on the line. And there was a pass ball that led to a walk-off win for them. So I pitch, I was covering home on the pass ball thinking that we could get her, and then Baylor literally celebrated like on top of me because that won them the Big 12 championship as I'm trying to cover home. And like I think I'm like on the ground because I like slipped trying to make the play and knowing that it's a winning run, and there's like a Baylor dog pile happening on top of me. So one of my least favorite memories, but you know, a memory nonetheless.
You were at the bottom of a wrong dog pile.
Yes, that's right. Of a bear pile.
I wish we had a photo to share.
Yeah, and that year I was Big 12 Pitcher of the Year. It's not like this is like a bad year or anything like for our team. Like we had Big 12 championship hopes. We had won it my freshman year in 2005. So just a lot of good history between Baylor and being down the street from where we were at in College Station, having played at Texas A&M, that in Texas State rival that you get a little bit here too with Texas Tech playing Baylor.
Walk drawn by Jackie Liss, 2nd of the game. She has been a walks machine this year. Had 3 walks in game 1 and now a pair here in game 3. 2 on, 1 out for Texas Tech.
Well, you have to face Jazzy Burns, and all she has in this series is 3 home runs, including a grand slam in the first inning. Baylor has just had a tough time of keeping her in the ballpark, and she's just been on fire her last 10 or 11 games.
And if you're Sadie Ross, you've got to be very careful here. Tech nearing run rule territory. That's another record that they've shattered this year, over 30 run rule victories for a program whose previous record was 20. Jasmine Burns, of course, has been a big part of that, particularly lately, Amanda. She's been the hottest hitter in the Red Raider lineup over the last 10 games, batting over 560 at the plate over that stretch.
With all those home runs, I mean, slugging the OPS on a run like that, when you've had all those home runs and a high on base percentage, is going to be out of this world. She is 5 for 6 in this series with 10 RBI. This is a hitter who came from Ohio State and had 25 home runs and 72 RBIs last year. First team All-American at Ohio State. You talk about transfer portal pickups, and Burns was definitely one of the biggest ones in the offseason.
Hit a then Big Ten single season record 25 homers last year. Grounds into an inning-ending double play ball, and Baylor avoids a potential run rule scenario entering the 5th. Bears will pick up the bats when we come back.
Nyjah Kennedy is dominant so far in her start today on senior day against Baylor, where everything is working. She is literally working every single quadrant. She has 7 strikeouts, and if you notice, low and in, low and out, up and in, changing speeds, curve, rise, changeup, all of them are working against Baylor today in a way that she just has to feel so confident in the circle in front of this home crowd and a sellout on senior day.
She has had no hitters numerous times throughout her career, has never thrown a perfect game. As one going now as we enter the 5th. Fly ball into center. Maya Davis drifting in one away.
You know, she got the golden ticket presented right here on this field. She was the first one to receive the AUSL golden ticket. Kim Ng, the AUSL commissioner, came out and presented it, as well as a message on the video board from Patrick Mahomes that really, of course, creates waves around here and across the country. When you see his face and what he's been able to do for Texas Tech, it's very reminiscent for what Kennedy has been able to do for this Texas Tech softball program. And the draft is coming up, so by getting that golden ticket, that allows everybody to know that you're going to be one of the rookies drafted in the 2026 AUSL draft. That will be May 4th on ESPN2 on Monday night. Coming up, you can see which of the 6 teams that she will be drafted to.
There was so much curiosity nationally when she jumped in the portal 2 years ago about where she would land. Certainly there will be similar curiosity in a couple of nights where she lands in the AUSL.
The 6 teams have home cities this year. Last year was the first year of the AUSL, and there were 4 teams that just traveled all around the country and played each other in different spots. But this year, with 2 expansion teams, it makes it 6, and each of the 6 teams have hometowns.
8th strikeout of the day for Kennedy. 2 gone in the 5th.
If I were a hitter, I would want no part in trying to hit this changeup against Kennedy today. She is selling it. She is spinning it. She's throwing it through the zone. That pitch is just popping out of her hand, looking like it's coming at 70, 73 at you, and instead it drops down to 55.
Casey West comes up swinging.
Just talking to the third base umpire. If I'm not mistaken, when a conversation like that happens, it's going to be an illegal pitch. So despite that being a foul ball, the third base umpire called an illegal pitch on her, which just does not happen very much when she's in the circle, possibly sliding her front foot forward. It's a bit of a guessing game when you're up here in the booth, unless you're a part of this conversation between Kennedy and the umpire, but nothing there. I think it had to do with something pre-pitch before she took off.
And so a 2-1 count to Casey West, trying to become the first Baylor Bear to reach base this afternoon against Kennedy. Gets a strikeout to slam the door on Baylor in the 5th. 15 up, 15 down with 9 Ks for Nyjah Kennedy.
It literally must feel so good to have the ball in your hand right now if you're Nyjah Kennedy with all this confidence, literally everything working. 2 strikeouts in that inning, and that is 9 for the All-American Kennedy.
Well over 2,100 on hand at Tracy Sellers Field this afternoon for Senior Day at Texas Tech. Standing room only. And the secondary market for tickets saw prices jump up all the way to $150 a piece to get a seat in this house this afternoon. And if you're just joining us, Jerry Glasgow mentioned a couple of innings ago when we had a chance to get him on air in the 4th inning that his first game coaching here last year, Amanda, there were 150 people maybe in the stands here in Lubbock. And now they're selling out home games and road games across the country.
Yeah, there's been a lot of additions to this field, including the overhang behind home plate, the outfield seating that is both in left center and right center, because you got to make more space for all the fans, like the demand of all the fans that want to be able to see this Texas Tech team play. And he had mentioned that Lubbock wasn't really a softball town before last year, but they even had families and fans driving to Oklahoma City to watch them play in person. People who had never watched a softball game before drove to OKC to watch them.
That hop gets over the glove of Piper, all red aboard for the second time today. It's funny, earlier this year, Jerry was making his rounds, speaking at the Rotary Club and similar clubs around town. Told us time and again, probably hundreds of people have come up to him since the end of last season saying, I never watched softball before in my life, but we either drove to Oklahoma City last year or at least tuned in to watch. And this year, they're now coming to home games. It's remarkable, and a lot of that he attributes, of course, to the stardom of Naijiri Kennedy.
Yeah, he said when he came back home after the World Series, he lives kind of out in the suburbs of Lubbock, that he was riding his Polaris to go get gas, and he was getting gas at a gas station, and somebody like pulled over asking to take a picture with him, and then that caused like 5 other people to pull over and want to take a picture with him too. So all he's doing is just like doing his thing. You know, he's kind of like a hunting guy, and like he just does all like the outdoorsy things. It's a big part of Jerry Glasgow's life, and he was just doing that, and people wanted to take pictures with him. Crazy.
And he said, me? That had never happened to him before.
He even said his barber and kids went to Oklahoma City to watch them play.
Terry in the left center, could be trouble. It is off the base of the wall. First to third goes Panel, a one-out double for Caitlin Terry.
Caitlin Terry just continues to produce extra base hits, adding her legs and power, and more so, Jerry told us, thinking of herself as a power hitter this year, not just a punch and Judy hitter is what he called it, but she's been wide open to help, using her bottom half and just going up with the mindset to be a power hitter this year. Again, it's very likely Caitlin Terry will be this year's Big 12 Player of the Year.
Glenn Moore making a change in the outfield. Jensen Vienna is going into left field. Meanwhile, Haley Toney will come to the plate here in the 8th spot with a chance to win it for Texas Tech. Potential game-winning run in the form of Caitlin Terry standing on second base. Into left center, to the wall. Toney has walked off game 3 for Texas Tech in run rule fashion. A school record 35th run rule victory for the Red Raiders. What a response for this Texas Tech team from last night, Amanda. And Jerry Glasgow told us this morning, sitting in his office, I'm curious to see how my team responds to the way last night ended. Gave up a 5-run lead late. Sort of a shocking loss to an unranked Baylor team that came in needing a win to keep their postseason hopes alive. They come back today and get a run rule victory and a perfect game performance from Naijiri Kennedy.
And Haley Toney with the game-winning swing to drive in two, staying inside of a pitch beautifully. It's been so many extra base hits in this game off the bats of these Texas Tech hitters. They were so excited, too, for knowing that those 2 runs would mean a run rule and a win and a perfect game for Naijiri Kennedy. What a response. And you heard Jerry Glasgow talk about it. Kennedy came out in the first inning, struck out the side. She did that twice in this game, but that's the type of response that you want from an All-American like Nyjah Kennedy after a tough loss when she was in the circle just about 24 hours ago. 3 up, 3 down, 3 strikeouts. We've seen her do it time and time again in her career.
Nyjah Kennedy is joining us now. Nyjah, appreciate your time. I don't know if you know this, but this is your first career perfect game, and it comes on your senior day in Lubbock. How cool is that for you?
Yeah, it's really cool.
How about the response of you and your team today, Nyjah, with the way last night ended, coming back today and winning the series against Baylor?
Yeah, I feel like today was a big day. Obviously, we're fighting for the series win, and then just to come out and win on senior day means a lot.
Nyjah, what was working for you today?
Yeah, I think me and Coach Terry were on the same, the same page pitch calling. I think today was really good, and then of course Vic behind the plate was she's always incredible, but I owe her a lot of credit.
Nyjah, Jerry has talked to us a lot this year about what you've meant not only to this program but to the sport of softball. Have you been able yet, I know you're still playing and there's a lot of softball to go, but have you been able yet to just take it all in and realize how special this run has been for you and what you've meant to the sport?
Yeah, not yet. I think down the line I'll see it maybe, but right now I'm just trying to enjoy my last couple games and playing here, and I'm finishing my college career.
What's been your favorite part about, your career and just this entire journey for you?
Honestly, just the people I've met, both at Stanford and Texas Tech. I feel like I've met some amazing people. I actually just FaceTimed some people at Stanford to wish them happy senior day. So I saw them this morning. And then, of course, winning the Big 12 tournament has been amazing, too.
Well, the trophy is being handed around. I know you want to put your fingertips on those. Congratulations on the win and another Big 12 regular season title.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Nyjah Kennedy with a perfect game performance, an 8-0 run rule win for Texas Tech, solidifying back-to-back regular season Big 12 titles for the first time in program history. Just an amazing conclusion to the regular season for Nyjah and, of course, Texas Tech.
Well, every time that Nyjah Kennedy steps into the circle, she's going to give you a chance to beat anybody in the country. And now, it has been like that since her freshman year. Like, when she gets the ball in any game, in any moment, Nyjah Kennedy, she's going to deliver. She's going to step up, including today, going for a series win and playing, too, for postseason seeding. I mean, this win mattered. This series win mattered today after a loss last night. Nyjah Kennedy was absolutely on. Senior day is finally here for Nyjah Kennedy. It's unbelievable that it's here. It's been an absolute pleasure to watch her pitch, and she pitched an absolute gem, throwing a perfect game today in front of a sold-out crowd in her home field. My goodness, what an awesome performance by Kennedy.
Texas Tech wins the Big 12 regular season. They take a top 5 ranking into the Big 12 tournament next week, and will try to make another deep run at the Women's College World Series with one of the great stars of our sport. For our entire ESPN crew, Amanda Scarborough, Matt Schumacher saying good afternoon from Lubbock as we send you back to studio with Alyssa Lang and the 7 Innings Live crew. Alyssa, take it away.